Should be live any second. And waiting for it. All right. We are live. Okay, so Joe Biden elected President of the United States, President-elect, by mostly all the media sources.
By cheating.
So, again, we want to say that this election is finally over, but it's not over yet because there's lawsuits, and it's going to keep going and recounts, blah, blah, blah. But
yeah, as long as it's not like official, like everything's counted, no recounts, no losses, nothing.
we're still in the shit here.
Yeah, we're
Like,
still in the
trash.
shithole.
It is a breath of fresh air that they at least we have some sort of like thing to go on now, because you can look at the numbers and it looks like Biden's going to definitely win.
Yeah.
Barring, of course, Trump lawsuits and fraudulent votes, and it would have to be a lot
Yes.
to actually flip the
Yeah.
election. But
And like fucking pigs flying and shit.
When
like,
they find that missing crate full of a
yeah, the
million
missing
Trump
crate.
votes.
like-
oh, what were they throwing in the sewer?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, unless some crazy thing happens, or I mean, I don't know if these recounts happen for the first time in history, it actually changes.
yeah, they would
The
have to be like 100,000 fraudulent votes. He's on
Yeah.
Twitter every day like, I won the election big.
I
Like
won.
today he's
Yeah.
like, we're gonna win Georgia and Wisconsin. I don't know how he's gonna pull that off, but I mean Georgia maybe, because there's still votes that have to come in.
It's tight,
And,
but everything else is like
Yeah, he's down in Wisconsin by 20,000. He's down in Pennsylvania by almost 40 now, 40,000. Georgia, he's down by 10,000. That's the only state though that might have a chance of flipping to Trump, because there's still like maybe 7,000 to 8,000 military ballots that haven't come in yet.
Even then, he still doesn't win.
Well, the thing is though, there's also like I think 10,000 provisional ballots, and with the provisional ballots, basically like if you voted day of and you didn't bring your ballot in from your house, or you voted and you got a ballot but you just didn't want to do it, like you don't want to mail it out, you had a provisional ballot. So they haven't counted those yet. So you would think that would favor Trump, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't favor Trump and it's like 80% to Biden at this point.
yeah.
But
Damn.
I could see that realistically being a thing. Arizona's kind of out of reach now, but I think it's going to keep tightening, and Biden's probably going to win by maybe like 8,000 to 5,000 votes. So he might have a case there, but he would have to flip Wisconsin or PA, and at this point, that's
Where's
looking crazy.
Wisconsin? I just saw that shit.
He's losing by 2,000.
Yeah, Wisconsin,
20,000.
which is something that I feel like
yeah.
never gets doesn't get talked about. Like Wisconsin, once it got called, that's it, disappeared from like the
Yeah,
spotlight.
yeah,
It
well,
says he's losing by 20,000.
20,000.
Oh,
There hasn't been an
20,000?
up. I don't know if there's even any more votes. Is it
That's
100?
99%.
I think
yeah.
they're all 99%, like all the major ones.
Yeah, it's very strange. It hasn't been
Yeah.
updated in like maybe 5 days now, but I mean, he's not. Honestly, I don't see a scenario where
Where he wins.
he realistically wins. It just doesn't really
Damn.
make sense. I mean, of course, unless there's the fraud. But
Trump
if you listen,
lost.
if you had to make a bet on this,
We gonna bet Trump.
the odds would probably be like
If you bet Trump and he
20,000
wins, you're gonna make mad
plus
money.
20,000.
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, for I wonder what DraftKings has it.
Yeah, of course.
Dude, that one guy that bet Trump and then he happens to win.
I mean, here's the thing, like with Trump's history, like you wouldn't be surprised because this guy got out of like the impeachment shit,
Yeah.
the fucking like investigations. Like
Yeah,
every
no.
time they thought they had him and they said that's it, this is the end of the road. This guy somehow crawls back from the fucking depths. So maybe he has in him, but I mean it's
Nah,
a long
I think
shot.
this is the end of the road.
Or maybe maybe
for
he used up his lifelines.
And then he'll come back stronger in 4 years.
And then
I-
who knows if he'll run in 4 years.
You're gonna see people fucking pissed.
He'll come back
But
in 4 years.
imagine a scenario where this dude actually somehow won every lawsuit and they flipped the fucking election.
If that
It's
happens,
called
people are
Back
gonna
to
be
the
pissed.
Future.
People are gonna fucking riot.
Oh yeah,
Like-
now is when you're gonna see riots.
Like no,
If Trump wins,
like at this
I
point.
think so, yeah.
At this point, I guess we could say like half of the people that voted think it's fraud because you're the guy you're supporting says it. But now the other side's gonna think there's fraud, and now if 100% of the voters think there's fraud, it's
there's
like
fraud on both sides.
There's definitely fraud on both sides. I 100% agree with that.
well, there's definitely
Trump's hair is fraud. Like,
Probably.
there's definitely like fraud in the terms of like there could be like human error or like glitches and shit, which were
Yeah,
proven,
and those always exist.
you know. But I don't think it's anything big enough that's gonna change the outcome.
Nah.
Like the way this guy's hyping it up to be,
Nah,
it's a long shot.
Maybe
It's
he's
possible,
right.
and again, realistically, right now, like factually, Biden wasn't elected president because the electors still have to vote sometime in December. So, but look, we're gonna heavily assume he's president. So what changes? Like what can we expect from a Biden Kamala presidency, assuming it goes the full distance?
Some guy.
Assuming it goes a full distance.
Yeah.
Well, there's gonna be fucking gridlock because this comes down to Congress. So right now, it's I think even. It's 48 to 48 between the seats between Dem seats and Republican seats in the Senate, and the key election is in Georgia because both of them are gonna go to a runoff, meaning in January they're gonna vote again. If Dems win that, they tie it, and then it comes down to the VP calling the tiebreakers.
So I just Googled Congress seats 2020. Democratic Party lost 4 seats and Republican gained 5 seats, and other parties lost 1 seat.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
in the House of Representatives.
So this is House of Representatives?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's House results.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the Senate is what we're talking about right now.
And this is Senate.
Yeah.
46 to 48.
But this race here hasn't been called yet.
No, they haven't.
So
This is North Carolina,
other
Yeah.
parties.
so this is going to be a Republican.
So Bernie's part of other parties.
So they're
right?
going to get 49 from that.
Bernie's independent.
So he's other parties.
Yeah, he would be other
Yeah.
party.
That's my guy. He
But,
doesn't follow this bullshit.
So yeah, so it's going to be 50 to 48 probably at the end of this, and then the two
Yeah.
runoffs are in Georgia.
Are in
but
Georgia.
the thing is, there might be. Wait, were they both actually announced runoffs? This
No,
one
because
here,
they're not done.
the Purdue one.
The Purdue one's the key one.
All right, so okay, so this dude has 49.7. He needs to get to 50%, and then they would win. The GOP would win
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, because in the way this works, they have to pass that 50% threshold to win. That's
win,
why the other one is weird because there's two Democrats and two Republicans, and that split the vote. So none of them are gonna get 50% because it's just so split, even though one of them has the majority.
Yeah.
So that's going to run for no
Damn.
matter what. This one, that's kind of what you got to look at to see if he passes the 50. If not,
Yeah.
we go to
I mean,
runoff.
even with the runoff,
Man.
you would assume this dude's probably going to win because he's up by 100,000 votes.
Yeah,
the
although
media doesn't talk about.
no, I think the media is gonna make a big.
Oh yeah, they're gonna
They're harping
if they
it right
both go to
now.
runoff like 100%,
Yeah.
they're gonna try to push this dude here,
Yeah,
John Ossoff, the
sucks,
Democrat.
yeah. I
Does
don't
he
know
suck?
who he
I
is.
don't know. If
I
he
don't
I don't know who that is.
sucks. They all suck.
That's gonna be that's gonna be a tall hill to climb. I think getting this dude overturned here, but they're gonna
Yeah.
try probably. But
Yeah,
there's again, it's most likely gonna stay a red Senate, and then you have
Red
the issue
Senate.
of can Biden get anything done because McConnell
not
is gonna be
McConnell,
the
this guy is-
Senate leader.
Bitch.
this guy's the wall that Trump promised, man. Because that guy blocks everything.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like,
So
this
needs to
might
show
look
us
like
that.
how things were at the later part of Obama's presidency, where it was
Obama.
just back and forth between Congress and the Oval Office, because
Yeah.
Obama wanted to do things, but the Republicans held Congress, so they just they blocked everything and nothing got done. And what happens is that's gonna affect his favorability ratings,
Yes.
especially if he can't figure out this whole COVID mess. That we can see in the midterms that that red sweep on the rest of the House, because if we wind the clocks back, I mean, Dems were projected to win heavily, not only in the presidency but in Congress, and they horribly underperformed.
Yeah.
So it's not looking good.
So
So the red wave, man.
again, yeah, like we said this before, you can take both as like I feel like the media played this game where like, all right, let's get Trump out, Trump bad, and then they got people to go Trump bad, and they didn't like people. They didn't harp enough on the fact that Trump. It's not Trump really. It's more about Congress and everything. Like Trump is just basically a talking figurehead for the GOP. I mean, you could say that he's not a politician, but from his actions, he does whatever the fuck they say, for the most part. But the thing is, like, again, now everyone thinks it's we're all happy and great. All the liberals, we're not. We're all great now because Trump's out. But if you don't see that you're in a worse position now, then I don't know what to tell you, because Biden's not gonna get anything done with a Republican majority in the Senate, and then you also have a Republican majority in Supreme Court.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so really are in a worse spot.
yeah, like
if
the
you
thing
think
is,
about it.
again,
They're in
like
a tough spot.
a Democrat candidate hasn't been elected without a supermajority since I think they said 1884.
Damn.
So it's gonna be one of the first times that
So
like
that's the last time America was great.
Well, the thing is, like, you gotta question, like, are they gonna learn like, are they understanding why they lost, or why the polls didn't reflect what actually
They don't.
happened?
Nah, they're
Because that's
gonna-
what it comes down to, and for both sides, for Trump too. I mean, more so understand why he lost
We know
to
why
begin
Trump
with,
lost.
as opposed
He
to
just sucks.
He's just why
an
did the
idiot.
Dems underperform?
nah.
And Biden sucks in secret.
Yeah. The thing is, yeah.
Just don't promote.
And that's the thing is, like, like, this whole vote for me because I'm the better of two evils is literally
It's just gonna get old.
yeah, it can
People
only
are
go
tired
so
of that
far.
shit.
Like, this is another year, the same thing again. Lesser of two evils. Like, people are just, they're just not gonna vote for you. All we need is someone that brings substance to the conversation. Otherwise,
Well, we had
you
that
know,
someone.
it's just the morals at this point.
Yeah, we did.
And the bar is just so low that, like, people are just willing to, vote for whoever they think is less evil for the country.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is, like, and I guess to attribute to, like, what you're saying is, like, you gotta focus on you gotta focus on doing something. For example, like in Florida, even though they voted for Trump, they also voted for the $15 minimum wage,
Yeah.
which is kind of like backwards.
Yep.
Makes no sense, right?
Yeah, because I don't think Trump is for a $15 minimum wage, whereas Biden was. And you would think, like, bro, this is your position. Why don't you harp on it since you see it's popular in the state? He would have won Florida. The shit would have been done, like, the night of. And then the same thing happens the same kind of weird shit happened in California, where they voted to block affirmative action. And they
that?
voted. So employers can't discriminate, can't hire you based on your race.
So they blocked that. They blocked that as in like.
Yeah, they can't use your race as a means to hire. So the idea is affirmative action is to have more representation in the workforce. They hire minorities that aren't as represented.
I can see why like white people would be pissed about that.
Well,
Like those.
but it's not just
those-
white people. For example, like there's I think a study where, like, in Ivy League schools, Asians get screwed over because they perform better in their scores, in their test scores, and in school.
But they don't get accepted.
But they're gonna accept it because it's given to Hispanic person or
Well, that's for school. Like, what about? Because the whatever you said.
affirmative action.
Affirmative action is about work, or is it about school too?
It says in the workforce, but it can be used in schools, like, in different ways. But I mean, I don't know. Like, let's say the same thing, an Asian person is more qualified to do
Yeah.
this job, but they want more representation with an African American, so they hire him
Yeah.
instead. So they blocked it. And that's something that's typically more of a left-leaning policy.
Yeah. I can
And-
see why like people get.
But it
pissed
got
about
blocked
that.
down, and that Joe Biden just single-handedly won California. And they also blocked, so, like, they call gig economy jobs, gig economy companies such as, like, Uber and Lyft. They blocked them having their employees be considered their workers be considered employees,
Damn. What?
And-
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
What?
and
People
they're gonna keep
don't-
them as contractors.
You know what's insane? Like.
And in California,
What?
it's weird, right? It's like
that-
you
that-
wouldn't.
That's how you know people did not actually pay attention. They're just like, all right, I'll follow along with whatever you guys tell
Yeah,
me.
because the thing about that is you're gonna see that shit start happening in different states.
And then
Yeah.
people are gonna start bitching about it, and then it's just like, yo, remember when everyone was voting? When record amount of people started voting?
Yeah,
and
and
you were
look,
a part
yeah,
of it?
yeah, yeah, yep.
Why didn't you fucking
Well,
do a little real
they'll probably
research?
conveniently not remember and, like, sweep it under the rug, but it's weird when I saw them. Like, whoa, that makes no sense. Like, weren't
Yeah,
they
that
fighting that
makes
for, like,
sense.
forever?
Well, in New York,
In New York, they were fighting it.
that whole thing about the classifying the gig workers as employees is gonna. I have a feeling that
It's
that
important.
it's gonna the states are gonna start declaring people as employers because they're getting screwed. Like, it's like, yeah, you took a position because you wanted flexibility, but it's like you're literally being paid like you're a slave, like
Yeah.
from a different country. Like how like people like in China get paid like 3 cents to make like a sock. It's fucked up. It's fucked up in like the sweat factories. It's not
God,
that
yeah.
bad, obviously, but
Probably
like
worse.
people. The thing is, like like for Uber, for instance, you have your own car, you're putting miles on it. You have to pay for gas. You have to pay for all this shit, insurance, the car itself, and like they take like a big chunk out, like 40% or something, out of what you make. So it's not like they're taking like 5%. They're taking a lot out. So
Damn.
and then they keep lowering the prices, and they expect you to work more.
That's nuts.
It's crazy,
That's
man.
crazy.
So
Yeah, it's-
I can't imagine Florida not voting for that. If Oregon just voted to legalize heroin and methamphetamine, so
I feel like there's a purpose.
Wait,
to
was it
though.
legalized or decriminalized?
Decriminalized.
sorry,
Yeah, there's a difference.
So yeah, there's a
And
difference with that.
you can't like
we don't
you
want
use it
people walking
recreationally.
around with crack and heroin by
I think-
accident.
Yeah, they're doing it right. Because instead of just throwing these people in prison and not helping them, I think they're looking more towards like, let's get these people help.
It's a step in the
right
right
way.
direction, but I think it needs to go harder. I think they need to like, if you get caught with it, you have to go to rehab.
But I think that's what they want to do eventually.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
the
because
idea.
now you just get a fine.
Yeah, well, they'll probably have to like write the law of how that's gonna pan out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all in the
Um,
language,
Yeah,
as Nancy Pelosi says.
I was reading online that like you know who won the election, or you know who won? Drugs won the war on drugs. 'Cause they're all getting decriminalized.
Yeah.
Long ass war.
Yeah,
but
fuck
they
the war on
did it.
drugs.
The good guys won.
Do you guys hear about that phone call up like apparently between like the House Dem leaders and like House Democrats? They had like a big conference call, and they were just like flipping out.
Yeah, yeah.
We
About
talked
what?
about this
Yeah, we
actually.
did.
What happened?
Basically, like the congressional like there were people that lost seats, and like, there was just a big like conversation they had, like I guess over like Zoom or something, and they were just like, we're losing seats, and like apparently some of them were screaming and crying, and like, oh, well, I never want to hear socialism again, or this or that. They were just shitting on like progressive values the whole time because they were trying to say like they lost because of that.
Yeah.
Yet like all the people that lost in the House were all like corporate Democrats.
It's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
So
like-
it
Like
makes no
that,
sense.
That shit where everyone that supported Medicare for all won their seat.
Yeah.
Oh
in
yeah,
Congress.
Oh,
You know?
that got me.
Yeah,
so
it's like I wonder why. Like,
yeah, but then you blame that it's like they're pushing everyone too far to the left, and then that's the reason why you underperform your polls. Like get
in
the hell outta
reality, you're just a shitty ass candidate. And
Yeah,
you
yeah,
literally got
like-
exposed during this election.
here. Like you're literally just saying, I'm better than you vote for me because Trump is bad.
Yeah.
While other people are
Yeah.
saying, vote for me because I want to help you in X, Y, and Z.
That's
Yeah.
and that's the same shit.
And
That's
what
how
people are asking.
That's how AOC won her shit, because fucking this dude Crowley, like, all his pamphlets were just vote for me because we're here to fight against Trump. And like she opened up that shit and she's like, this is why this guy doesn't give a shit. What's his position? What is this guy about? What is this guy, providing, trying to represent people, for people in Congress. And yeah, people see through that shit. Like,
People see the bullshit now.
That's the thing. People. That's the thing.
But
Like
not
people are
enough
starting
people
to see the bullshit.
Yeah.
We need everybody to see the
Yeah.
bullshit.
I think definitely, like, I mean, if Biden wants to have a successful or make the best of it, he has to find a way to, calm this like super divisiveness. Cause it's like I get like, people are pissed because of his past and stuff. I feel I would like for this guy to just acknowledge, like, listen, like the shit I did in the past is fucked up. I'm a man. I'm gonna apologize. Be a man, accept my apology, and try to reach out to the other side, because again,
Yeah.
half of the country voted against you. So there's a reason why he should find out.
yeah, and like this, when you say that this time, half of the people voted against you. It's like
Literally.
we had a lot of fucking people vote. So like, so I think less than half of the country voted again. But
And then when you think about it,
This guy showed
like
up.
put it this way, half the country voted against Joe Biden, and of the people that did vote for Joe Biden, let's say half of them voted for him not because they want him, but because they want the other guy out.
yeah,
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So he doesn't really have support.
you want to say some words?
I
on
feel like
this
Joe
election?
Biden, like, to add on to that, I feel like Joe Biden was kind of like, he could get votes like that, but he was also safe enough that like people who were kind of like lean Republican but hate Trump could be like, all right, like this guy's moderate enough for me. And then plus you'll have the people who are just like, he's not Trump, so fuck Trump.
Yeah, they
I'm
were
gonna vote
banking
Biden.
on that
So
shit.
so
Yeah.
there were several like types of people that they were trying to like, target, and I guess it ended up working out.
It worked well. He got
TBD.
fucking 70. He's gonna have like 78 million votes at the end of this.
Yeah, man, that's pretty fucking nuts.
I don't know. I felt like if you lean Republican, you were voting Trump no matter what.
I don't know.
Just-
I'm not too sure about that, man. There's
Just-
so many people who voted Trump last time that.
But more people voted for Trump this time.
More people voted
Yeah,
for
a
Trump
lot
this
more
time.
people voted for Trump this time.
Like, dude, more people voted for Trump.
Those are probably people coming out of the woodwork, though.
But the fact that they like people were coming out of the woodwork.
I know,
I
like,
feel like
means
people
that-
came out of the
or-
woodwork the
or-
first
how much
time.
people are left in the woodwork?
Those could be fake votes, right?
Ooh.
It's like real fake doors.
But
I think, listen, dude, like, I think you have to acknowledge the fact that Trump expanded his base, and not
He
expanded his base
definitely.
with just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
the demographic that people assume support for Trump. Like, he expanded with minorities too. Like, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
There's a reason for that, man.
but there,
Yeah, so
there's
like
one
now
person I know who.
what?
There's one person I know who voted for Trump in 2016, and went to a Trump rally last year when there was a Trump rally in Wildwood,
Oh yeah.
and voted for Biden because because of this person suffered from COVID like really bad and was like personally offended when he kind of like made the disease seem like it was nothing. So that was like enough to like change their mind.
The thing is
I
that
could see that
Trump
being a
has
thing.
done 8,000 different things where people are like, you know what, that's enough.
Yeah.
Like
absolutely.
disrespecting military, just all that trash talk he did.
Yeah, pretty
and
much like
just
his
being an
mentality, like like you're either with me or you're against me, and if you're against me, I'm a just put you on blast on Twitter. It just came off very like childish.
Sounds like cancel culture, huh? He tried to
He
make his own Trump version of cancel
He really
culture.
did, right? He tried to say cancel culture was bad, but like he constantly tried to cancel people.
Cancel culture is the worst thing to ever happen. By
Yeah.
the way.
it is annoying.
So
but
it was definitely like the irony definitely got lost in him in
but
that
I
sense.
I think it just goes back to what we were saying. Like, the bar was so low. Like, you could find whatever excuse you didn't vote for Trump. I guarantee you people didn't vote for Trump because of his hair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Dumb shit.
and
guarantee that.
I
Oh,
guarantee,
definitely. Someone
yeah.
definitely voted.
Dude,
'cause
I had an uncle who voted for Trump because he dished out the stimulus checks. Because
That-
his checks had his last name on
But
it.
there's probably a lot
That's
of people
nuts.
that did that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
sure.
Well, obviously.
Like, you don't pay attention, then you see this guy is giving you money, so you're just like, all
Yeah.
right.
But that goes to show, like,
like
the
it.
bar was low. And obviously, that Biden probably had, his people where the bar was so low. One of them being, he's not Trump. That's a low bar that they
Yeah.
voted for him.
He's not a
It's a mega low bar, but wow, like
racist.
imagine like voting for somebody because they're not someone else and
Yeah.
And
actually
turns out-
winning and like winning, man. Like that just shows how
Popularity.
like Trump's
contest.
animosity.
I would say that if it wasn't as close as it fucking is. Like,
Yeah.
it's
That's
super
very
Yeah,
fucking
'cause
close.
it's not like he won by a
dude,
landslide.
that same shit happened with Hillary. People voted for Trump because they didn't like Hillary.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
It's the same thing
Yes.
as
That's a very good point.
Shit.
So
I didn't vote.
And that
Hillary.
shit was close as well.
it was close too.
I was part of the lock her up crew.
How did that go?
We're still waiting.
Oh my god.
Let's see if they lock up Trump.
Trump's gonna be on trial before her if it ever
Yeah,
happens,
They're gonna be cellmates.
Fucking
Yeah.
man.
dude.
So there's a lot of like things that have to be repaired in the government and in the federal government because
In the government.
In the whole.
and starting with the fact that with this crisis going, like, we'll see how this fucking guy Biden handles Corona because this guy.
Well,
Second wave's
we're
coming.
already seeing what's happening.
Well, we already
Six
seen.
days.
Closing up.
6 days after the election, the vaccine. Now the reports come out, and now I keep seeing. Thank God for President Biden for helping the reports come out or like fixing it for it to come out. It's like all right, okay. But Biden is not president right now. Trump is still your president.
Do people know that? Like,
Dude, yeah, I don't think people understand that. Donald Trump
people
is still your
realize that?
fucking president right now. And
There's
he's gonna
definitely people who
don't understand it. He's gonna be your president
I
until
think it's a
January
small
20th.
margin. Yeah, I think it's a small margin of people.
Well,
I don't know
actually,
that.
I can't say
Who
that for
knows?
certain. We'll see.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see,
you
man.
never know.
Nah, we can make a pretty educated guess here that Biden's the president.
Never know.
Gonna be the president.
Yeah.
They find that dumpster behind Blockbuster.
Yo, if they find that dumpster behind the Blockbuster,
The last blockbuster that exists in the United States. The perfect place to hide the ballots.
What-
They put it
state
there 'cause
is
it was
that
like
in?
Nobody.
It's in
is it in one of the swing
it's in
states?
Oregon, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only
No,
Blockbuster.
check in Oregon, man. Who goes to
Yeah,
Oregon?
my friend went there a few weeks ago. He road tripped to
Oh,
Oregon.
my bad.
and,
Sorry, friend.
no, dude, like, dude, the pictures were just fucking nuts. Like, it's like half museum, half
Actual Blockbuster.
yeah. But this is more of like a podcast we're rather than like,
Yeah,
it's off topic. But
we're actually
yeah.
gonna, I think, we're gonna
Yeah.
end this live stream right
Yeah.
now. So we
Yeah,
can
I
actually do
think
our
we cover
podcast.
like everything that
Yeah.
needs to
Fuck
be
Donald
covered.
Trump.
Like,
So we'll
fuck
Trump,
Sleepy
Joe.
Fuck Sleepy Joe.
we'll talk about our blockbuster
They're all
memories in the
trash.
podcast.
Yeah,
They're all
suck.
trash.
Yeah, basic point here is that we really think really strongly that Joe Biden's gonna be the president,
Trash.
but there's a very tiny chance that Trump can still be president somehow. But
Trash too.
we don't think that's gonna happen. I don't
Yeah,
think that's gonna
I
happen.
don't think it's gonna happen.
If we had to bet money, I'd put it on Biden being president.
Yeah.
And with that, I bid you all farewell.
I'll bet just $1 in case like the betting
Yo,
odds
bet-
go in
bet-
favor.
bet that
I make
$1.
like $3 million.
Yeah, right? Nah, you probably make like $200.
Yeah.
So speaking of betting odds, I guess before we wrap it up, since it's still kind of relevant, like what were like the odds of like on election day of who was gonna?
Trump was like 70% or something. It jumped up.
He was like
Damn. So
favorite, right?
whoever
He was
like
hardcore
bet
favorite.
that Biden was gonna win made bank.
Nah, but the thing is, people were betting before that
Yeah.
because the markets were like 20% chance for Trump or 30% chance.
You bet when it close. Like once you place your bet, that's the odd that you stay
Yeah,
with.
so I mean,
Isn't
I'm
it?
sure people were betting Biden as the odds flipped to Trump. I'm sure that happened, and
Yeah.
they made some money.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So with that, we bid you all farewell, and we'll catch
So-
us on the podcast.
Yep, yep,
We